Next up, time to choose our hero and villain of the week. Each member of the panel will suggest a hero and a villain. They will make their pitch, and I will arbitrarily decide who's the winner. Seth, let's start with you.
Yes, many of you will know that I have no interest at all in football, but I'd like to nominate Gary Lineker just because he's managed to win against a set of broadcasting rules that were essentially brought up to placate the Conservative Party as much as possible, and just being quite reasonable about it all, he's forced the complete back down for all non-political pundits on the BBC.
Yeah, so the new guidance rules that have come in are kind of quite Lineker friendly.
Yeah, it's sort of don't do anything hugely stupid, don't endorse a party, but otherwise you can, just support causes as you see fit. That's fine. And my villain of the week would be the entire US Senate, because at a time where we've come very close to shutdown of the entire US government and gridlock and so forth, their priority last week was reinstating the dress code to make sure that Senator John Fetterman would wear a tie into the chamber in future.
Right, okay, important stuff. Roz, who are you going for hero and villain?
My hero is Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Because I think this is a very timely choice. I mean, obviously the guy's been dead a while, but he really did some amazing things with railways. He actually changed the standard gauge of railways in the UK when he built the Great Western Railway, and he did some other amazing engineering feats as well. And I think he's someone we can all take inspiration from at a time like this, don't you, Andrew?
Could well do. I was on the Great Western Railway only yesterday, and I thought the gauge was fantastic. Why now in particular? Is it because we need rail thought? We need future rail optimism.
I'm just thinking about a rail project that might have been built and hasn't been built. That's all I'm thinking about. Andrew.
Fair enough. Okay. How about your villain?
Oh, my villain is mosquitoes. I personally have a massive problem with mosquitoes. I mean, but obviously in a very northern hemisphere way, in that they just bite me and it turns into enormous red wheels. But I don't catch malaria, and malaria is nonetheless a huge problem. And the good news this week is that there is a new cheap malaria vaccine, which means there are 2 now, and this will save literally millions of lives. And it's also important for Europe because eventually the mosquitoes will start moving even further north because of climate change, and will carry malaria with them there. So this is fantastic news.
This is my mosquito fact. The only mosquito fact I've got, which is that apparently malaria is very common in East Anglia in the 17th century.
Fens,
and it was known as the night chills. He was carried off by the night chills.
Also in Kent. I mean, I expect Gavin knows that. It was very common in the bit of Kent that was only recently drained.
There you go.
Good grief.
So beat that, Gavin, for your heroes and your villains. Who have you got?
Oh, well, I'm quite alarmed about the prospect of mosquitoes in Kent carrying malaria. My hero of the week is President Jimmy Carter, 99 years old. He wasn't the greatest president in American history, but he's a great man, and he has done really good things. And the Carter Center from Nicaragua, I met him there when he was trying to bring democracy to that place, to Zimbabwe and other places. He is a good man, and I think we should celebrate him for that. My villain of the week is the water companies again. I mean, they are just shocking. Now the idea is that we should see a rise of an average of £156 in our annual bills to pay for them to do what we thought we were paying for them to do anyway, which is provide us with clean water and not pollute our seas and rivers with sewage. I think that is absolutely shocking, unbelievable. They are the villain, not just of the week, they're my villain of the year.
Well, Fergal Sharkey, soon to be, we hope, Lord Fergal Sharkey, was doing the media round, pointing out that they are insisting that we pay twice for the thing we were already paid for, which they had instead diverted the money off into dividends. Well,
I mean, that's it. But it's nice work if you can get it. Obviously, we've got to crack down on benefit cheats, but we're not allowed to suggest in any way that there's something odd about paying for something which we don't get from companies who, I think it's 1 trillion litres of water a year. I don't even know what that is, but it's a lot. 1 trillion litres of water a year is lost through burst pipes that haven't been replaced. That's just shocking.
Another one that takes me back to the glory days of the pre-New Labour government, when blowing up water companies for leaks was a huge part of undermining the credibility of the major government. So time has become a loop again. Okay, you've given me a very, very tough set of choices here. I think we're going to go with hero. We'll go with Jimmy Carter, because at 99, and the man who was too decent to be a good American president, I think we can give him that. Very difficult if it's a toss-up. I think water companies will be villains again at some point. In fact, water companies will be recur every other week. Mosquitoes, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to give it to the US Senate, not just for the dress code, but because for part of the deal for not shutting down the government was effectively to withdraw support to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Simply in cheap political horse trading to throw away the support to a country that's fighting for its own independence and its own democracy. Kind of the thing the United States is there for. I thought that was particularly shameful. Don't worry, Ros, mosquitoes will get their day another time.